Most CEOs know this moment. The phone rings. It's professional, measured, and exploratory. Would you ever consider ... And for a split second, there's a lift. You think, the market sees us. All that work, recognized. We built something valuable. It's not ego, it's affirmation. You led well. Your team executed. Your bank matters. And then that lift fades because your mind doesn't stay on affirmation. It moves to containment. What if this leaks? What if employees hear a rumor and start taking calls? What if competitors circle our best relationship managers? What if our strongest customers get approached? What happens to earnings if uncertainty creeps in? How do I assemble a significant data request without signaling something bigger? What if certain shareholders, the ones I thought were aligned, see liquidity differently when it's real? That's the pit in your stomach. And then you realize you're the only one in the room who even knows the call happened. It's not the fear of selling, it's fear of responsibility. Because once timing enters the room, control can move quickly. And if you haven't examined your position beforehand, that emotional swing becomes a roller coaster. Affirmation, anxiety, strategizing, bracing, it can all feel like a nightmare scenario. But it doesn't have to. Now imagine that same call, same tone, same exploratory question. There's still affirmation, there's still adrenaline, but there isn't confusion. There isn't scrambling. There isn't that internal rush of, where do I even start? Instead, the thought is simple. Okay, here we go. Let's get organized. Let's respond from position. And understand this. When that call comes in, the caller is expecting asymmetry. There's no malice in their thinking. It's pattern. That's how the market works in the real world. They assume you haven't fully examined readiness. They assume alignment may be uncertain. They assume timing hasn't been defined internally. And if their assumptions are correct, that asymmetry gives them leverage. History has them counting on it, unless your position offsets it. When you understand your structure, when you've examined alignment, when you know your thresholds, that asymmetry narrows. Not because you're aggressive, because you're prepared. And that preparation changes everything. Because at that point, you've already looked at your structure. You've examined alignment. You have a realistic sense of your leverage. You know your value would stand up under due diligence if a process ever began. And if you chose to create competition, you could. Most importantly, you know you can say no, calmly, without hesitation. Not defensively, not emotionally, confidently. And not only can you say no, you will say no. If it's not the right time, not the right partner, or not the right terms. That's not arrogance, that's position. And something shifts internally when you know that. The weight lifts, not because nothing could ever happen, but because nothing in the room surprises you anymore. You're not bracing. You're not buying time. You're not hoping the topic doesn't surface. You hear the questions fully. You respond deliberately. You lead the pace. That's institutional confidence. It's not personality. It's not volume. It's structural clarity lived internally. And here's something else CEOs miss. If your long-term goal is independence, clarity protects it. Independence without examined alignment is fragile. You may believe your shareholders are committed. You may believe your board is aligned, but you truly don't know until timing tests it. I've seen boards that were fully aligned, until liquidity became real. An unsolicited call doesn't create misalignment, it reveals it. And if that revelation happens in real time, under pressure, independence can unravel faster than expected. But when you've done the work internally, when you understand your structure, your alignment, and your thresholds, independence isn't threatened by inquiry. It's reinforced by clarity. There will still be nerves. Of course there will. But it's a different kind of nervous. Not, I have no idea where to go with this, but okay, here we go. Let's execute. That's not anxiety, that's activation. Confidence without structure is fragile. Confidence built on position is durable. And durability changes how you lead, long before anything ever happens.